Okay, here I am again, a little older, not all that wiser, but I'm going to continue to do what I used to do with videos and try to, again, exchange information. Um, and basically, I'm just going to call this 10 minutes with Jesse. And here we go. Today's subject is our own personal perception of life. I may believe that I know something, and I may believe that my perception of life is correct, um, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is correct. Um, we as people, as individuals, have that choice to um, use information properly or to discard it as if it has no value. I am convinced that we live in a society where everybody thinks that they know everything and they don't have to rely on anybody else. Don't have to ask anybody questions. Don't have to take anybody's input. They know enough, and what they know is the only truth that exists. Talk to individuals, and you will see that most people are convinced that their way of life is the only way that is actually a correct way of living. Now, if that's the case, how do you explain hardship? How do you explain suffering? How do you explain pain? How do you explain failure? Um, how do you explain people losing hope, giving up? When you're confronted with challenges, when you're confronted with a crisis, you're in a position where you're going to have to listen to somebody else. What's going to make a difference in you getting past your challenge is how ready and how willing are you to listen to somebody else. I hear Christians constantly criticize the 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 power of positive thinking, and I find that difficult to understand because if you read the Bible, everything God is telling us is the power of positive thinking. Believe. A long time in a college class, the debate was between faith. What is faith? And I looked it up in the dictionary, and it basically said believing in something where you don't have any evidence to believe in it. And when you're talking and you're exchanging information and you're trying to help people overcome challenges, part of the job of the listener is to believe in something that they necessarily may not want to believe in, or may be predisposed not to believe in. So what are you left with? You hope you're left with an individual that's willing to try. If everything's going great in your life, there's no need to do anything. If everything's going great in your life, why are you on the internet looking for videos to help you cope? Can you cope? Yes, 100% you can cope. It's not that hard. It's a matter of personal discipline, and it's a matter of perspective. I'm a firm believer in positive thinking. And what do I mean by positive thinking? I don't mean just, everything's going to be great. That's not what I mean at all. Uh, Believing in something. By all means, you want to believe in something. You want to have hope. We bury ourselves in the negative without a question. We see everything dark, hopeless, impossible. There's no way that I'm going to overcome this whatsoever. That's what we tell ourselves. And we are in control of our thoughts. If I was to talk to you, the first thing I would tell you is you're in control of your thoughts. Would you be willing to believe me? I have had people actually argue with me that they are not in control of their thoughts. Like, if you're not in control of your thoughts, who is in control of your thoughts? And the critical reason I bring that up is because if you're in control of your thoughts, I know thoughts control emotions, and emotions control behavior. And if you're going through something difficult in your life and you want to identify it as something negative, you have that option. But if you want to identify it as something positive, that's also an option. Now, let me see if I can give you an example. A person is at a point in time in a relationship where they're suffering from the two critical issues which I say drive people crazy. It is fear of loss and fear of separation. That scares people, and it makes them do strange things, behave like a child, behave violently, uh, close themselves off emotionally. If you're giving up hope, you're wanting to step away. You're wanting to get away from what you think is going to hurt you. But if you start controlling your thoughts and you start being realistic about the actual relationship, not the relationship you created in your mind, not the thoughts that you have used to identify the relationship in your mind, but the actual relationship. How you find out what the relationship is? You ask questions. And you don't misinterpret what your romantic partner is telling you. If your partner tells you one thing, you have to take them for the word. You have to have faith in what they are telling you. When we start telling ourselves our partner doesn't love us anymore, our partner is going to leave us, this is going to be bad, this is going to hurt, it's the hurt I cannot deal with, we're lying to ourselves. That's the negative. The positive is, I really don't know unless I ask. So I shouldn't say anything unless I ask. Number two, if I've been told, I should believe. I have the option to believe or not to believe. You don't believe when you have evidence not to trust a person. Okay? The negative is scaring yourself. The positive is being a rational person and figuring things out and making sure that what you believe is actually true. Not a good example, I'll develop it. But the point here today is, are you willing to listen to somebody else? Are you willing to have an in-depth introspection to your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with hopes of fixing whatever it is that is keeping you from getting what you want out of life? Life isn't that hard. What makes life hard is where we put our focus on our dreams. Dreams are great if dreams are manageable and if dreams are capable. Missing out on one dream or two is not the end of the world. We miss out on a lot when all we do is narrow our focus and want to see things only one way. There are other ways to life. And if dreams work out, great. If they don't, it doesn't mean you stop living. Thank you. Have a good day.